The partner that you choose to spend your time or the rest of your life with is one of the most important life decisions that you will ever make. Today, I want to talk to you about choosing well. The partner that you choose to spend your life with can either be the most beautiful experience that you ever have, or it can be, in most extreme cases, the worst thing that can happen to you that can completely ruin you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So let's talk today about the importance of choosing well. A lot of times, ladies, unfortunately, we like to blame. We like to blame everyone else. We like to blame men for what they do. But the reality is that we teach people how to treat us. So we are the ones with the autonomy, the power to choose well. And I just want to help you with a few tips today to help you do just that. So one of the things that I'm always super skeptical with is the narrative of the divorce rate. So we always hear divorce rates are like 50% of marriages are ending in divorce, right? And I just want to analyze that a little bit more and say that there are couples that, and I'm sure we've been at those weddings, you might have been at one of these weddings, where we knew from the beginning that they should never, ever, ever have even gotten married in the first place. Let's talk about that, right? So either he was showing some red flags, she might have been also showing some red flags, but they should not have gotten together in the first place. These are some of the marriages that are skewing the results. Yeah, there might be marriages where over time it just didn't work out or a couple has grown apart, but there are a lot of weddings that should not have happened. They should never have walked down the aisle in the first place. And ladies, again, we just need to take a lot more accountability for the choices that we are making. So what's the issue? Again, it's us. We're making the bad choices. There are huge, huge, huge red flags that a lot of men are showing us very, very early into the dating process. We are ignoring them, especially when we're hitting the age where we think, okay, we're hitting our 30s or 40s, the clock's ticking. So the things that you might have paid attention to, you turn the other cheek or you ignore. So it's really, really, really dangerous that as you get to this age of dating in the 30s and 40s, which, by the way, I think is an amazing time to date if you do it properly, be careful with falling into the trap of settling for something that you know deep down isn't good because you're afraid of where you're at when it comes to your age, and you think you've got to choose someone and hurry up and do it now because this chance will not come along. Do not make decisions based on your age, please. So tip number 1, choose what matters. Pick character traits, deep, important character traits, as opposed to surface things. Stop just looking at a guy for how much money he makes, the kind of car he drives, his job title. And it goes without saying, I'm not telling you to date somebody without the means of supporting themselves and potentially you in the future. Of course, you want to make sure that you date someone who has a job, who can manage his money, but you are often getting really romanticized, especially by, like, let's face it, social media, TV, the movies, that you want that like Wall Street executive guy in the suit. Let me tell you, a blue collar who knows how to save his money, who knows how to manage his money, who is a kind person, are often the guys that are getting overlooked, right? So stop looking at how much he makes, the kind of car he drives, and really start looking at the important character traits. Have you ever asked yourself when you're dating in the early stages, is he kind? That's always the first thing I tell my students. Is he a kind person? And is he kind not just to you, but when you go out, if you go for a meal or dinner, or you go to somewhere where somebody is serving you, is he kind to the people that are serving you? There's so much that you're able to, I really believe the first 3 months of dating is so, so crucial. That's your opportunity to really take the time to observe how he is and how he exists in the world. So is he kind? Is he consistent? Is he reliable? Does he show up when he says he's going to show up? And if he can't for whatever reason, does he communicate that to you, right? So these are the kind of character traits that you want to look for, not the surface things. Character. And when you have done some of your feminine energy work, you can actually start going to the next level, which I think is super important, which is how do you feel when you're in his presence and when you're around him? Do you feel safe? The number one thing that a masculine man will make you feel when you're in his presence, he will make you feel safe. He'll make you feel protected, that nothing will happen to you when he's around. So again, character traits that are important, that are internal things, not the external surface stuff. And how does he make you feel in his presence? Do you feel, again, safe, protective, at peace, appreciated, valued, right? These are the things that you really need to pay attention to. Is he consistent? Is he trustworthy? Do his actions line up with his words? Things like that. And what this is going to also help you do, I have another video called that There Are Great Men Everywhere. What's often happening is women, we are choosing, again, men based on the wrong things and the wrong reasons. And what happens is the amazing men who possess a lot of the character traits that I'm talking about end up being overlooked. You'll walk right past them for somebody who is a little more flashy, a little bit more polished, but you are bypassing some really, really, really great men who have solid internal character traits. And this is what this type of work will start to help you be able to really notice and see the great men that are already around you. Number 2, stop sleeping with men so quickly. I'll say that again. Stop sleeping with men so quickly. This one is a little bit controversial. I know we are in a modern age where women are free to do whatever they want, whenever they want. But let me tell you that it's just important for many reasons. I've actually personally had men that I've talked to in conversation tell me that they lose respect when a woman sleeps with them way too quickly. And they'll never actually tell that to you, but men are made for the pursuit and the chase. And when you sleep with them way too early, you kind of end up losing that, which really just affects a whole lot of other things in the dating process. So what ends up happening as well when you sleep with somebody too quickly, when you haven't taken the time to really vet them, observe them, see if they have some of the character traits that I mentioned earlier on, sex ends up creating different emotional attachments, and different hormones start to come out when you sleep with somebody. You get attached to them. You start not thinking completely clearly. So you're seeing things in rose-colored glasses. And what happens is that you're now not able to clearly see what he's showing to you. And those could be, subtle things or even big red flags. You start to not be able to notice them just because of the natural things that our body does. So wait. And if you disagree with me on this, fine, no problem. This might not be for everybody, but if this is something that you usually do and things are not working out for you in the dating world, I'm going to challenge you to just give it a try. Just wait a little bit longer. If you usually always sleep with someone on the first date, maybe you're going to wait till, week 3 or 4. A rule of thumb, and I hate to kind of give specifics on this, but a rule of thumb you can do is wait, 3 months. I know Steve Harvey talks about the 90 days and the probationary period, but it is a good amount of time, because I think that first 3 months is so crucial. It's a good amount of time to allow you the opportunity to really observe how somebody is over time. So this can vary whether or not, depending on, are you talking to them every day on the phone? Is he asking good questions? Are you getting to know him? Do you go out with each other once a week, when you're just first dating? Or are you seeing him once every 3-4 weeks? Are you really able to get the opportunity to observe this person through the ups and downs, through adversity. You know, when things aren't going so well, how does he respond to life in that way? How does he speak to you? Are you getting an opportunity to meet, you know, friends or family members? Like, these are really things that you have to pay attention to. And when you sleep with somebody really quickly, it really doesn't allow you to see things in an unbiased way and in a clear way. So I hope you'll receive that one. And again, if it's something that you don't usually do, that maybe you might be willing to try it out, to wait a little bit longer and see how he responds to you. Trust me, the right person who actually really likes you will really respond to that really well and pay a little bit more attention to you, especially because these days everybody's sleeping with people, I think, really quickly in this culture. So if you actually wait a little bit, it will allow you, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, to stand out from the crowd. So I encourage you to give that a try. Number 3 on choosing wisely is having boundaries, number 1, and being willing to walk away. A lot of us ladies, we have zero boundaries, zero standards. So that was me in my, I would say, most of my 20s. And I started to really develop that muscle more towards the 30s, mid 30s. And that's when my dating and how I dated and the kind of guys that I was choosing shifted in a huge way. Is being willing to have some value for yourself and respect for yourself. And that will show up in the way that you have standards for yourself and boundaries. And I really believe, and this is just, you know, fact, I'm not mad about it, but men will treat us the way we let them treat us. And it's up to us to decide how that's going to be. We have to be really clear about what we will and will not tolerate. And if you see behavior that is not okay with you, it's up to you right away to address that. Don't let things slide. When you're first dating, again, first 3 months, so crucial. This is the time for you to start to address things really early. If there's something that you don't like, it is up to you to bring it up in a calm way. We don't need to have attitude or argue, but bring it up in a calm way. Talk about how it makes you feel, what it is that you don't like about it. And this is now your opportunity to observe. So, does he apologize? If he apologizes, maybe he didn't realize he was doing it. He didn't realize how it showed up for you, and he changes his behavior. Or does he dismiss you? Does he make you feel like you're kind of crazy? Like, oh, that didn't happen. That's kind of a signal to you to decide, okay, you gonna stick this out? And if you do decide to stick it out a little bit longer, let's just say it happens again. So this is such a crucial moment. If you have talked about something, you've told him how it makes you feel, it's uncomfortable, you don't like it, and he then proceeds to do it again. If you stay, the rest is your fault. And I know that might sound kind of harsh, but I really need you to get this. You have to be willing to walk away. If there's behavior happening that doesn't sit well with you, it doesn't match your values, it doesn't line up with somebody of good character, this is when you walk away. Because after this point, when you stay, oh, honey, it's a free-for-all. Because he knows, oh, she said she was going to walk away, or she said she wasn't okay with this, but I did it again and she stayed. So I can just do whatever I want. And for him, that also signals this is not somebody who values herself or who has high self-esteem, and I can just treat her any way I want to. So really, ladies, I don't care how old you are, if you think this is the last man on earth that's ever going to pay attention to you, you have to be willing to walk away. And he needs to know about you that you have enough self-respect and enough value of yourself that you will walk away and that you will not be treated in any way. And oh my goodness, women every day end up marrying these people. A lot of guys have shown us very clearly in the early days who they are, the things they do, and their character. Why is it, and going back to those divorce stats, why are we marrying these people anyways, right? Ask yourself that question. So this is responsibility that we have to take. And unfortunately, and this was the person that I was as well, it happens a lot to the people who are, the people pleasers, who have not so much self-esteem, a lot of self-respect, that end up with people like this. And this is so important because this is the work that you have to do, that I did, and that you have to do yourself from the inside out to really develop that value you have for yourself, to be able to validate yourself, to value yourself, to build your self-confidence, self-esteem, sense of self-worth, so that this type of behavior no longer resonates with you. So if you are the person that's continuing to repeat these patterns, you really have to do your internal work so that you can build yourself up, so that when these situations come, you don't entertain them like you would have. And I have a special place in my heart for women who are like that, because I know what it feels like, but I know that it's something that you can work on and that you can get better at. Okay. So honestly, I'm like, I don't care if you just started dating and you need to walk away, or if you're a week away from the wedding. I don't care if you done paid for the hall, if the bridesmaids have their dresses. I don't care if all the deposits were paid, the final payments. If you have somebody who has shown you major, major, major red flags. I've heard stories where somebody was a week away or two from their wedding and their fiance cheated on them. And because things were so far ahead, they didn't want to cancel. And now you're ending up in a life and a marriage of misery, and potentially you're one of those divorce stats. So if you're in the early days, or you're about to, say I do and make those vows, I encourage you to, because your intuition will actually tell you that this is not something you should go through with. And I want to challenge you to make a hard decision because of the things that you didn't pay attention to in the beginning. So in summary, again, when you're choosing well, choose the character traits that matter, like the inside stuff, like the true inside stuff: kindness, reliability, integrity, consistency. Those are the things that make the difference with the person that man is going to be from the inside, and he will show you these things early. Number 2, stop sleeping with men so quickly. Wait at least 3 months. If you don't have the intuition to kind of, gauge what that is, give 3 months as kind of a parameter to work with. Maybe it's a little bit less, maybe it's a little bit more, but value yourself a little bit more to let him prove to you and show you over that couple months period who he really is before you give yourself to him, which can unfortunately make you not be able to see things clearly. And the last is have boundaries, have standards of what you will and will not tolerate or put up with because you value yourself, and also be willing to walk away from something that isn't right for you, which will allow you to make room for what is. So hopefully that helped today. If there's anything that resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. If there's a topic that you want to talk about or that you have questions about, please put that in the comments and I will consider making a future video about that. My name is Asha Lapps. I help women in their 30s and 40s who have struggled with dating and relationships to just date more successfully, date in a healthy way so they can attract the love that they deserve. So take care. See you in the next video.